have identified some very, very interesting anomalous type of aircraft.
Traffic is quite luminous and is exhibiting some non-ballistic motion. Over.
Move very rapidly at any speed or whether any direction it wanted to go. Why it could change and go to the right or the left or go crossways without hesitating a bit.
What do you think it was?
Well, if they call it a flying saucer, that's what it is.
Aviary 517, do you want to report a UFO? Over.
Negative. We don't want to report.
Look, it wasn't my worst Wednesday night.
Good evening, everybody. This is Smiles Lewis, and thank you for joining us for another live edition of Anomaly Now, straight out of Austin, Texas, on this Wednesday, December 20th, 2023 night. Though it may be day or afternoon or morning, who knows, wherever you are listening, watching the replay, please like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Keep us going up in the algorithms of the YouTubes and whatnots. Oh, yes, and we should be actually streaming live to Instagram now. We stream to multiple social media platforms that we have. You can find the list of them all over at our website, anomalyarchives.org, which, of course, is spelled ANOMALY, archives.org. Well, I wanted to first say a bit about these wonderful things that I've got from. I had mentioned previously that I'm reading Jacques Vallée's Forbidden Science journals for 2000 to 2009. Each journal volume, this is volume 5, titled Pacific Heights. Each volume is 10 years of writing his diaries from those periods of time, and they're always amazingly insightful. I cannot recommend them highly enough. Great stuff going on there. And also recently subscribed to the Austin Seance Quarterly Journal, which has a number of great articles that you might want to check out, and they are available over at their website, Austin Seance. AustinSeance.com. Right. AustinSeance.com has that there. And the zine, UFO is a bucket of shit. And I feel that is so true. It's put out by Michael David Strayer. Thank you, Michael, for sending the Anomaly Archives copies of your new zine, UFO is a bucket of shit, a Gray Barker zine that you can see. And he's offering online. I think it's a very limited run, but he basically visited the Clarksburg archive in West Virginia of where all of Gray Barker's materials are held, and great stuff there. So check it out. Meanwhile, you can go to our Flipboard, flipboard.com. And we've got all the links to articles. I'm constantly flipping stuff over there and trying to catch up and read as I can. Just today, China's space plane has released multiple mystery objects in orbit. This from Thomas Newdick over at The Drive, where, meanwhile, rare hissing mushroom resurfaces in Texas State Park over at WFAA.com. That's the KHOU 11 Houston station. The thing looks like something out of Stranger Things. The head, the face of the weird creature, and some other interesting things that we'll be covering coming up. Lots of great links to digest. I definitely want to recommend Greg's interview with Ong's Hat creator Joseph Matheny, talking about the blurred lines between fiction and reality over at dailygrail.com. I'm about halfway through that video interview, And Matheny is one of these characters that I wasn't sure what to make of him for a long time, and he just is this very interesting historic person in that he has a deep connection to ARGs, chaotic fiction, alternative ways of storytelling. ARG standing for alternate reality gaming, also now augmented reality gaming. Really looking forward to listening to the rest of that interview. Meanwhile, this very Fortean headline, quote unquote, biblical plague of frogs, toads, and tadpoles causes multi-car pileup. I'm so sorry for the folks involved in that wreck over in Honduras City. A biblical plague of toads, frogs, and tadpoles wreaked havoc in a Honduras city, even causing a multi-car pileup. This is from metro.co.uk. A lot of other interesting things, some very controversial or at least hard to reckon with, including stuff about the apparent presence of ketamine in the autopsy report on the recent death of Matthew Perry, the celebrity. Of course, this has become a quite popular alternative therapy with the use of ketamine. And of course, people are making hay out of the fact that he was a recovering addict and had portrayed himself as clean, but was he using ketamine recreationally, or was this actually part of his recovery? But did it end up contributing to his death? More great news from the National UFO Historical Records Center in New Mexico. They've acquired the archives of APRO, the Aerial Phenomena Research Organization. That is such an important and significant development in the archives world. But it was this headline, actually, that bald eagle sightings appear to be on the rise in Austin. I saw this headline, and I immediately thought, are you sure they're bald eagles? Yes, there are bald eagles in Texas, and yes, they do come this far south. And this is over at KUT.org, reported by Mose Bushell on December 13th. And there is apparently video of this, and it's been reported over at KXCN.com. Video: bald eagle takes flight over Lake Austin. This is like west of Mopac, our Missouri Pacific interstate there, north-south corridor. Photos and video. Here is a bit of that video. I'm not going to play the audio, but what really had me wondering, though, is were they sure it was bald eagles? This is clearly a bald eagle, so no question there. But when I saw that headline, I was immediately wondering, were they really seeing caracaras? Several years back, I was going through Gonzales, Texas, and driving down the highway, and I happened to see what I thought was a bird of prey. It looked like the head of a bald eagle, and I thought I saw white wingtips like a bald eagle. And I did actually see something very much like that. It was almost certainly a caracara on the side of the road eating a carcass. Now, bald eagles don't tend to eat dead things unless they really, really have to. But within a year, or maybe even as few as 6 months, I was back in that same area and saw multiple caracara. And then ever since, my eyes have been open. I see caracara everywhere, and they're incredibly prevalent now. They're kind of taking over, as this article from back in, I think, 2020, over at Texas Monthly says, meet the carrion craving falcon that's taking over Texas. Crested caracaras used to range no farther north than Texas's southern tip, but now they're expanding across the state, perhaps because of climate change and habitat loss. This picture doesn't really do justice. You wouldn't think that people would mistake bald eagles for this kind of a creature, but in fact, I think it's actually fairly simple and easy to make that mistake from a distance. So, but I really love it whenever I see caracara. Oh, gosh, I should play. I don't know if I can play this video or not. I totally forgot about this. So I was walking on that street that sadly there were the murders on recently, and I was listening to some music on my headphones, and I heard some very, very strange sounds. And I'm gonna see if I can let me see if I can play this for you. And hopefully the sound will come through. Oh, wait, that's the street. Here we go. Hopefully the sound will come through. So these were three Caracara. I'm guessing it was a mating pair. Um, anyway, very strange. I'd never heard them make that sound. I've only seen them flying. And I don't know if you could make that out, but very strange to hear that sound. But so I'm guessing it was a mating pair and maybe an interloper getting a little too close and them having kind of a quarrel. I guess nothing bad happened, thankfully. But that was just very interesting. So to me, at least. Other good news: the National UFO Reporting Center, newfork.org, have a new UFO map. Check this out. It is interactive. You can zoom in and look at all these different UFO reports in their database. And it is global, though I'm not sure. Yeah, oh, there's some from Alaska. You can zoom in, move it around. Now, obviously, there's whole parts of the planet that they don't have many reports on. Looks like they've got some here from New Delhi on up to Islamabad. Wow. Anyway, lots of great interactivity here. Oh, lots from the UK there. You can zoom in and check that out. That's over at newfork.org/map. And in the other UFO news, this headline from over at dailymail.co.uk: secrets of Area 51, metallic egg-shaped UFO the size of an SUV was kept at the highly classified Air Force Base in the 1980s. Whistleblower claims. Eric Tabor, a defense aerospace contractor for 13 years, told the dailymail.com of an egg-shaped metallic UFO kept. Yeah. So of course the description and the images that they post really are reminiscent of this quote unquote avocado shaped object that's been reported on, investigated by Paulo Harris and then Jacques Vallée, as well as of course being similar to the later Socorro, New Mexico craft. I was like, who is this guy, Eric Tabor? I was very unfamiliar with him. This article and others are claiming that he is one of these whistleblowers who's testified to Congress, and back in May, I think. And the story is, though, that it was his, late great uncle Sam Ukahart, an Area 51 contractor, who told him about this mysterious object. And there is an image that just looks like a shiny football. So it's kind of like, well, where has this guy been? Is there any other references? I'm sure lots of other folks can find references, but while I was digging around, of course, in the Anomaly-Archives.org website, we have a list of other archives where other UFO researchers and paranormal researchers have donated their collections, where those collections are located. And sure enough, buried deep within the Curtis Peebles personal papers at San Diego Air and Space Museum Library and Archives is reference to Eric Tabor. Box 12, Series 6, research material, says folder 1, UFO email, Eric Tabor. That's all we got. So if somebody wants to go to San Diego and dig into that. So not sure how long back. It looked like maybe 2016 or so was when this was either cataloged or donated. So clearly this fellow's been around talking to folks in the research field for a while. And over at Wikipedia, you can see this entry on Curtis Peebles. He's written a number of books, including his one, I think, main UFO book, Watch the Skies, a chronicle of flying saucer myth from 1994, which happened to have been published by the Smithsonian Institution Press. But he wrote a lot about space science and also the Cold War and surveillance. Very interesting list of other titles that I am less familiar with, but that sound equally fascinating in terms of relevance to the UFO phenomenon. Well, I have intended this to be a very short episode, and that is in fact going to be that way. So that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you for tuning in, and hope you'll join us. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff, and comment. And if you have suggestions for news articles, you can send them to me, and I'll try to get them flipped over into the Flipboard. And we got big news coming up very, very soon, but for now, just going to have to wait for more teasers about what that's all about. So thank you and good night.